Calgary, Alberta's road testing system for those seeking driver's licenses is vulnerable to criminal activity, overcharges the public and lacks proper oversight, an independent review found. The 2016 review by Pandas Solutions Group, made public by the province Tuesday, paints a picture of a system rife with opportunities for exploitation, noting stories about sexual assault, bribery and issuing fake documents. Alberta Transportation is now considering taking over the system, which has been privatized since 1993. Transportation Minister Brian Mason speaks in the Alberta legislature on July 4. This week, Mason announced the government would be reforming driver's licensing in Alberta, including an overhaul of a road test system vulnerable to criminal activity. Cody McLaughlin, Star Metro, "We have many complaints every week, and there is a complete lack of oversight," said Alberta Transportation Minister Brian Mason. The province identified 40 investigations into such complaints over a 3-year period, Alberta Transportation said. Some resulted in traffic violations while other, extreme cases, led to criminal charges. If the complaints don't escalate to a criminal case, registry agents, the private companies who handle the retail side of registry services like road tests, aren't required to report them to the province. Article continued below. Read more. Province hears allegations that Calgary police violated critics' privacy. Alberta Premier urges sex assault survivors to report crimes. Alberta looks again at mandatory training for truck drivers, tougher rules for longer vehicles. The report suggests many of the issues identified with examiners themselves may be caused by gaps in the recruitment and training process for driving examiners. Right now, examiners in Alberta aren't necessarily interviewed when they're hired. Their training consists of a 7-day course and a year-long monitoring period. No ongoing training or professional development is required, even after major legislative changes. There are numerous complaints on the professionalism of driver examiners that have contributed to criminal cases, the report said. Article continued. Bella Witt also found that there's no upper threshold for drive test fees, which are inconsistent across the province. Alberta's are the highest in the country, and up to 5 times greater than other provinces. The government of Alberta receives $5 from each drive test. Beyond that, prices are not transparent, and aren't reported to the government, the report said. Lower cost was one of the main rationales for privatizing the road test system, the report notes. That justification has not materialized, it found. The review found rural Albertans in particular pay higher fees, as there are fewer options available. Though the province recruits drive test examiners in specific rural areas, those examiners aren't required to stay in a specific location and often move to urban areas where there's more business. Many Albertans also have a perception that the system is designed as a cash grab, with many people believing examiners fail drivers to collect more test fees, the review found. This is a challenge to prove, it added. The province said on Tuesday it hopes to finalize reforms to the road test examination system by early 2019. Alberta Transportation will be consulting with the public and registry agents this month to settle on a set of exact changes, Mason said. On Tuesday, Minister of Service Alberta Brian Malkinson said the province is listening to concerns registry companies may have but must address the problems in the review. Even one instance of sexual harassment, bribery or fraud is one too many, Malkinson said. The president of the Association of Alberta Registry Agents, Craig Quillard, said Tuesday the majority of road test examiners are highly professional and ethical, and registry agents support the province's efforts to overhaul the system. The push is part of a larger set of reforms for oversight of drivers in Alberta. Other proposed changes include mandatory training for commercial truckers and an end to the practice of allowing companies to operate on Alberta roads for 60 days before they meet safety standards. The new trucking safety standards were in the works since 2016 but made urgent by the Humboldt tragedy, Mason said. The April 6 collision between a truck and bus carrying the Humboldt Broncos junior hockey team happened in rural Saskatchewan, but the Calgary-based truck driver was licensed in Alberta. Emma McIntosh is an environment, justice and investigative reporter with Star Metro Calgary. Follow her on Twitter @MMC.